Well, hello. Hi, Mona. Hi, Nicole. Donna, She's Way, Stevie. Hello, how are you all? Um, how's it going? For those of you that practice with me during the week live, I'm wondering if you're sore. So, yesterday, I don't know when, but what I've realized, I felt like kind of sore below my ribs, so my rotation muscles. And it just made me think about doing rotation today and core work. And I think that what I really thought was this: the core is like a corset, and we always describe it like that. It really is. The muscles are wrapping around the torso like a corset to really contain us for posture, for alignment. That's really important. So I'm definitely going to be doing a little bit more rotation today and explaining a little bit about staying safe during that. Because the really cool thing about doing the twists in the practice of yoga are that it strengthens the spine, but also it's core work. So instead of just having to show up to do core work specifically, when we do twisting, we're actually working the core as well. So that's going to be something I'd like to add today. And then, of course, if you have any other desires, please let me know. Okay. Yeah. All right. And were you sore, Donna, around the lower ribs? I'd like to know if that was the case for you as well, because I taught 2 classes yesterday. And I think on Tuesday, I definitely focused more on core, which would be those rotational muscles. And then yesterday, I focused a little bit more on glutes in one of my classes and legs. So anyway, I don't know. On my walk today, my 4-mile walk, I was like, oh, wow, I feel this. Okay. Yeah. Well, we did a lot of bridge yesterday, so there was a lot of glute work yesterday. Yeah, and just 2023 has been a year of strength. So I definitely kicked it up a notch this year, that's for sure. And hopefully not too much, because that was always a goal of mine, was not to be too much for anyone, yet to offer modifications. So wherever you are on the spectrum of flexibility, range of motion, all of that, that you could still really do whatever's appropriate for you. Thighs. All right. Thighs. Oh yeah. And so yesterday I saw ladies from the Tuesday class. So Tuesday's my Yoga for Osteoporosis class live, and you could do Zoom through Torrance Memorial. So we did a lot of balance work, but there was a lot of strength work in the side body and a lot of core work. And then yesterday when I saw the ladies from Tuesday, my Yoga for Wellness in my chair class, they were mentioning they were sore in their hips on the side. So right here, because we did a lot of lateral chain work. So I'm wondering if some of you felt that as well, because we did a lot of side work. Anyway, so anything that anybody wants for this week, anything in particular? I'm definitely thinking about some twists, so some spinal bone stimulation. That's definitely going to be something we're gonna go for this week. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that's what it was. We did some lateral movements and some of the postures I don't do very often. All right. Well, whatever we do, it's great, right? Because there's 800 muscles in our body, joints, bones, and all of that. So anything we're doing is good and will be helpful for strengthening the muscles, strengthening the bones. So if you have anything else to say to me, can you type it right now? Because I'm going to go back there and I will not be able to see it. It's always good. Yeah. I mean, all yoga is good, right, Stevie? Anytime we show up for ourselves to do our practice, it's great. I hate the lighting in here. This is so weird. But my lighting is all the way up. All right. Well, I'm going to go over there. Okay. All right. So without further ado, let's do it. So let me move this. I have a new mat and it was all folded, so I put the blanket on it to try to get some of the wrinkles out. Oh, if getting wrinkles was so easy, putting the blanket on it, right? All right. For today's practice, bringing in a lot of rotational movement, because rotational movement So when we rotate the body, that means that usually the lower half and the upper half move away from each other. And rotation in the body occurs in the spine. The spine is one of the most precarious areas to pay attention to because it really is, in many cases, the first place of breakdown when it comes to bone health. When you have osteoporosis, it is one of the first areas to really focus on, and not a lot of awareness is out there about that. It's where most of the fractures are, and people with hip fractures had a previous spinal wedge fracture. So really paying attention to the health of your spine. And then the information that's out there about twisting is not necessarily correct. Safe twisting with appropriate line alignment is safe for the spine and actually the best way to strengthen the spine. So we're going to focus on rotational force and bringing our awareness to the safety component of that. Body needs to be aligned. The main thing to note with rotation is that you're not pressing into the front of your vertebra and then trying to rotate your trunk, because that's when you get into trouble and that's when it's not good. So we're going to warm up our body, prepare our body for safe twisting and other movements as well, to focus on bringing strength into the muscles, into the bones, strengthening posture, alignment, balance, fall prevention, all of it. It's all good. Do what you can and give it your best effort. Usually we do 12 postures in a practice. In a whole hour and 15 minutes, there's 12 times. You're really demanding 30 seconds to an hour from your body. That's, oh my gosh. One day I'm gonna learn how to speak. In the whole practice, there's maybe 12 times we're gonna demand 30 seconds to 1 minute. That's it, of intense strengthening for muscles and bones. So show up, prepare yourself, be ready, warm up your body, make sure you're lubricated and safe. We're going to begin with a chest opener because we're going to stretch our body and bring space into our body to make sure it's safe. For the practice, we'll need a strap and a block for later, and we need a blanket. Let's begin with the blanket. Taking your blanket. Now, a yoga blanket or a thick, heavy blanket is ideal to use if you have that. If not, try to get the thickest one that you can find, because the thicker the blanket, the farther away your body is from the ground, and the more weight you apply to your chest and your shoulders, the more stretch you're going to bring into the chest muscles, and the more stretch you're going to bring into the front of your spine. So take your blanket and roll your blanket up. Tighter fold is going to give you even more opening. If you take your blanket in this long position here, it's going to make sure that your whole spine is on there. So you want your whole spine in your head. For some of you, you may need a little something else at your head. And you'll know what that is as you get more familiar with your practice and what you need. Bringing yourself down onto your blanket and then arranging yourself so that you're as comfortable as you can be. The blanket is behind your spine. Blanket is behind your spine, and then pay attention to how you're feeling. If you need to put something in your head, under your head, go ahead and do that. Keep your knees bent, feet are flat, let your feet fall in towards each other. If your low back is not happy, you can walk your feet closer to your body. It'll give a little more play or movement in your pelvis, and it may make the low back feel a little less tension. Taking your arms out to the side, let's bring the arms straight out and start to bring the arms up and down to bring some of the lubrication into the shoulder joint. Keep your eyes closed at first so you know where you are. You convey safety to the nervous system in the location that you are at this moment. Sometimes it's nice before a practice to light candles or to have some beautiful aromas, something where you set up this practice and this time for yourself. And then close your eyes as you move, go into the place of feeling. When you're not seeing, you're bringing in more senses or sensory awareness into the feeling part of the brain. So feel your way into this as you move your arms, elbows down to the waist, hands move up overhead. And then let your arms come to a rest position where you feel the maximum stretch in the chest, in the shoulders. Arms pretty high, elbows slightly bent. And let the backs of the hands rest on the ground, bringing that stretch into the chest, the shoulders. Bring your awareness to your head. It's a great place to release tension in the head and neck. Letting the head go to the side on your exhale. Inhaling up to center. Exhaling to the other side. You inhale back up to center and you exhale into the stretch. Exhale is the opportunity for relaxation. So try to isolate the head. Let it just be the neck that moves. The rest of your body is stabilized. And then you mobilize your neck. And then bringing yourself back to center. Eyes are closed, arms are to the side. You should be in a position where you feel tension of stretching in your body. And then if you're nursing an injury or something, maybe it's a little less. Let's do the square breath today. I'm going to count 4 for the inhale, 4 for a hold, 4 for exhale, and 4 for a hold. If this is not the right tempo for you, then when you can breathe on your own, choose something different. Or instead of a square, maybe moving to a rectangle where you breathe 4 on the inhale, 2 for the hold, 4 on the exhale, and 2 for the hold. Mouth is closed. Let the back teeth be separated. Back neck is nice and long. Arrange yourself so you feel the posture doing some work in your joints, stretching ligaments, tendons, muscles. Mouth is relaxed. Body is relaxed. Mind is relaxed. And the breath will further that, especially that mental relaxation. Let's prepare by taking a big exhale. And let's begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Continue counting on your own. You could visualize a square as you count. Keep your mind occupied with counting, with visualization, regulating your breath. Stay with your breath. 4, 4, 4, 4. Finishing up the breath you're on, take one more round of breath. When you finish that round, let the breath go back to your body to breathe itself. Letting the breath go. Bring your movement into your fingers, your toes. Keep your eyes closed. Stay here in this place. If you'd like to stretch your legs long, your arms long, or keep your legs bent, just move in a position with this blanket behind your spine so that you come into a deeper stretch somewhere. You feel something in your body. You explore with the eyes closed the range of motion in your body. You bring in some stretch, some movement. You can imagine you're climbing a ladder. So one side goes one long and then the other side goes long, feeling that stretch in the middle of the torso. Eyes closed will really help you feel this in your body. And then go ahead and bend your knees, open your eyes. So we're going to do a little to warm up the upper torso. The blanket behind the spine will be helpful here. So come onto your side where you could see me, coming all the way off the blanket, yet the blanket is right behind you. So it's going to be a barrier to help warm up these rotational muscles. Take your elbows together, or you clasp your hands behind your head, elbows are together. Exhale. And as you inhale, bring your elbow up. When your elbow gets straight up, actively slide that shoulder blade closer to the spine. Push your heart forward, lengthen your spine. Rotate the upper spine open, and then exhale to close. So you're not trying to get to the floor. This is not about bringing in the biggest twist you can, because that'll happen right at the lower ribs. Want you to twist, slide the shoulder blade towards the spine, push the heart forward, lengthen your upper torso. So you're actually bringing in a lot of stretch to the thoracic spine where the rib cage is. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to relax and to release. Inhale. And then one more. Stay here, pushing your right elbow or right, if you're on the right side, whatever side you're on, push the elbow on the floor into the ground, and the other elbow, they're trying to reach as far apart from each other as possible. So the tips of your elbows are stretching away from each other. You're pushing your heart forward. Low back may not be happy here. So push your belly button towards your spine to protect your lumbar spine. Squeeze your legs together. That'll help as well. And then really lengthening, pushing your heart forward. Take one more breath here. And then bring yourself all the way out. We're going to come to the other side. So you're going to go back onto your blanket and then off the other side. So the blanket still stays behind your back. And it's going to help to keep you from rolling too far. and not letting this be just lower back or thoracolumbar joint, but bringing this into the thoracic. Clasping your hands behind your head, elbows are forward. Exhale. As you inhale, lift your elbow up. Actively slide the shoulder blade towards your spine, opening as far as you can on this direction, lifting long in your spine, heart forward. Exhale back. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale back. Opportunity to stretch the upper spine to help correct spinal malalignment, bring in lubrication and range of motion into the muscles, the joints. Go slow, go with breath. On this next one, you're going to come open and stay. Push away from the ground with the elbow on the ground. Lift high, slide the shoulder blade towards your spine. Come into the most open place you could be for the deepest stretch. Long spine, chest is pressing forward. Protect lumbar spine, squeeze legs together. Press the belly towards the low back. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself all the way out. From here, you're going to put your hand onto the ground using the pushing muscles of your body. Let your head go along for the ride and bring yourself all the way up. Take your blanket, open up your blanket. Put your blanket onto the middle of your mat, and then come onto the blanket. We're going to come onto all fours. Really wide hands. So pretty wide hands, pretty wide legs. Start pushing around in your body, moving around. If you push your hips side to side, you'll feel the inner thighs stretch, and then maybe even the outer thighs. So you're pushing your torso side to side. Bring yourself back to center. You're going to come forward. Feel that weight coming into the wrist. Spread the fingers a lot, and then push yourself back. Feel the glute stretch. Arms are wide and arms are straight. Forward and backwards. Forward and back. Start to go a little bigger each time. So coming into hip flexors, into belly, into shoulders. Feeling what's appropriate in your body as you roll around through your joints, the spine, the hips, the shoulders. Close your eyes, feel this in your body. You come forward with an inhale, you go back with an exhale. Going to a bigger, fuller range of motion, try to get the pelvis to touch the floor or towards the floor, and then the forehead to touch the floor. When you move back, keep your tushy in the air. Inhale, exhale. Bringing yourself all the way up. Bring yourself up for a second for your wrists. Take your wrists and stretch your wrists. So bring your hand forward, arms stay straight. Bend the hand down and push the hand towards your body. Arms stay straight. You may need to go diagonal across your body to make this a little bit more manageable. And then this one here, wrist as bent as you could get it. This right here, if you were to slip, trip, or fall and put your hand down, the more you could bend this wrist, the less likely you are to fracture it. So practice here, developing flexibility in that wrist. Same thing on the other side. Hand is down, stretching your top forearm, and then pressing through the heel of the hand, pulling the fingers or the hand towards you. Bring yourself onto all fours. One hand is underneath your shoulder, whether it's fist for wrist, cupcake hands, or a flat hand. Take the other hand, clasp behind the head, exhale, and then inhale, lead with the elbow. Exhale down, inhale, open. Exhale, inhale. Stay here. Push your feet into the floor, your knees into the floor. Push your hand away from the floor. Belly button up towards your spine. Try to lift your elbow as high as you can. And then bring yourself down. Other hand behind the head. Exhale, inhale. Go slow. Explore your range of motion. One more. Stay here. Push your hand into the ground, belly button to your spine. Try to open as much as you can on this side. And then bring yourself all the way down, all the way out. Pause, noticing what you notice. Sitting on your heels if you can, or crisscross your legs. And then open your eyes. Take your hands on your shoulders. Roll your shoulders. Let your gaze be forward and up at least halfway or 3/4 of the way up the wall. Take your arms, open up. Gaze is up now, either at the ceiling or where the wall and the ceiling meets. Arms open. Lift your arms as high as your shoulders will let them. If you have shoulder issues, it may be some limitations in your range of motion. Do what's appropriate. One more. Come open, stay open. Slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Let the shoulder blades press forward to lift your heart, stretching your upper trunk. And then bring yourself back to center. A little side to side with the head pushing up with the ear. Head back to center. Rotation side to side. Teeth are together. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, chin up. And then bring yourself back to center. Strengthening the core. When we do rotational movement, we want to protect the lumbar spine. The spine has 26 vertebrae, 2 in the pelvis, 5 low back, 12 thoracic attached to ribs, 7 in the neck. The low back doesn't have rotational joints. They're called facet joints. It doesn't have the joints to rotate. This is why there's so many issues with low back, because if you twist incorrectly or you're not safe when you're doing it, you put too much force in joints that don't have that range of motion. Where most of that rotation takes place is where the low back and middle back meet, the spine. That's where most takes place. Limited here. We want to bring in more here. We want to try to bring in as much as we can with safety. So let's do some core work so that we actually turn on the corset or the muscle group that actually protects our lumbar spine and the middle part of our body. First posture we'll do is plank. This is a great front body and a core strengthening posture. So take your hands under your body. If you need to modify, walk your hands forward, let your torso come forward and manage that weight with that forward movement if you need to modify. Otherwise, flip your toes under, bring your heels off and push back through your heels. Feel the strength in this posture. Let's go through the biggest range of motion you can in your plank. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Take the right hand off, if you can. And then try to take the left hand off. Make sure you establish the right hand before you move. Bring your hand down. Let's take Right leg off. And then try to do left leg. Bring the left leg down. Let's take the left arm up and do a rotational plank. Bring yourself down to the right. Body may sway. Keep your feet on the ground. Back to center. Push away from the ground with your hands. Push away with your feet. Active head. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself down. We're going to come into a rest. You can either come into a squat, a seated position, or puppy dog, where you take your arms forward, your forehead touches the ground, and you rest here to catch your breath. Mouth is closed. Deep breaths to catch your breath. Take one more breath. Leading with your head, bring yourself up. So we'll go down the ground to a little bit more core, spinal strengthening, core strengthening, and some twisting. Take your blanket to the top of your mat. Bring yourself onto your buttocks. From here, let's come to sit up. Let's do a Navasana boat posture, but we're going to do boat posture with a twist. So you could either do one leg at a time for Navasana, or you could do both legs with Navasana. And we're going to do rotation with it. So you're going to bring your arms to one side, and you come back to center and to the other side. If you're doing one leg at a time, then you'll switch after a few breaths. Rotation, heart is lifted here. Act like you're holding a big ball. Moving the ball to one side, back to center, to the other side, back to center. But you don't want to cave in on your chest. A few more. Back to center, and then come all the way out. Bring your feet together in Baddha Konasana. Sit nice and tall in your spine. Make sure you're not collapsing and rounding. Make sure you maintain the safe spinal space from the lower heart to the belly button. Front spine is staying nice and long, and you're very aware of your front spine, because that in and of itself is a good thing, to be aware. And then let's come down onto the ground. Coming all the way down onto the ground. Get your strap. If your strap loops, then loop your strap. Or if you have a strap that you can't loop, then tie your strap around the upper thighs. Whatever it is you do, you need to have it not move. So you need that tension so you can push out pretty forcefully onto the strap and have it stay where you need it to stay. So loop it or tie it in top thighs. We're going to do the bridge posture. The strap will help to activate the lateral chain, which gives you pelvic stability and more range of motion in your spine. This is not just about lifting the pelvis up. This is about bending the upper spine. So really paying attention here at the rib cage area of your spine to try to push it up and bend it like a rainbow as much as you can. Take the blanket away from the back of your head. Slide your shoulder blades towards each other so you're really aligned here. The hand position like this is very helpful because you can push your arms and help to lift your rib cage so you can bend it. Lengthen your neck Your neck is long, your chin is pointing towards your body. Walk your feet as close as you could get them. Push out on the strap, tilt your pelvis back. Push your feet into the floor, squeeze your tushy cheeks, and unbend your hips. Then bring your awareness to your lower ribs. Press your arms into the ground and lift your rib cage away from the ground as much as you can and bend it. Try to really bend that upper rib cage. For those that are able to clasp without resting your body on your arms are straight. You could try clasping or keep the arms bent. Deep breaths. Squeeze your tushy, soften the front body. Bend your upper spine. Give it your all. Very important posture bridge for healthy aging, healthy bones, healthy posture, healthy alignment, healthy spine. Take one more breath. When you come down, let it be slow. So move your arms so you can bring the top part of your spine down first, pressing each vertebra towards the ground. When you get to the low ribs, lift your heels up. Try to get the low back to touch first. Then to the top of the pelvis. Bring your blanket back underneath your head. Take your strap. Untie if it was tied. Bring your strap onto your feet. Take your feet wider than your body. Soles of the feet are up towards the sky. Bend your knees and draw your knees towards your armpits, stretching the low back. Feel that. Happy baby. If you're pretty close to your big toes, go ahead and grab your big toes. Draw your big toes down. You can even rock side to side. And then take your strap off to the side. Draw your knees into your chest. Bring your feet onto the floor, hands on your belly, close your eyes, feel your body, noticing what you notice wherever you noticed in your body. A lot of core work that we just came out of. Plank, boat, bridge. We're going to move into a hovering twist. This is core work where the heart lights stay up towards the sky and the hip lights are going to move to the side, and we're going to maintain hovering position of the weight of our lower body. So let's take a block that'll help to activate the thighs, the core. So this is the most narrow version of the block if you were between your legs like this. And then if you turn it to the side, it gets a little wider. And if you turn it on its ends, it gets even wider. So we want to be in the middle range here. Putting that between the calves, that is about hip distance. So it keeps your legs in a pretty nice position. We begin with a tabletop position. Knees right above the pelvis is more challenging. If your back doesn't like this, you may want to bring your knees closer to your body. Feel your pelvis tilt back, low back goes to the ground. So do what's appropriate for you. We're going to hover for about 30-ish seconds. So it's a lot of work for the core and the rotational trunk muscles to stabilize your body. So do what's appropriate for you. Arms are to the side, fingers down, so you could help maintain this. Exhale. Inhale into position where you feel the strain and the work to hold your body there, and then stay there. Squeeze the block, activate your core, draw on the pelvic floor. Feel like you're zippering up a super tight pair of jeans. If you want a little bit more intensity, you can unbend your legs, making this more work for the torso and the core muscles. Deep breaths, mouth is closed. Take one more breath. Bringing yourself back to center. Bend your knees. Take a break here. Let your muscles relax. Let's go to the other side. Hands are to the side, squeezing the block. You're going to rock to the side to a place where you feel the need to really actively hold the weight of your body so that your whole body doesn't fall. Squeezing the block, contracting your core, pelvic floor, zipper up a tight pair of jeans to get that deep core turn on, activation. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself back to center. Take the block off. Draw your knees into your chest. Take your knees a little wide. Low back flattens side to side. Let's do a little interim pulling on the pelvis. Take a break from those trunk muscles. Take your strap and put the strap around the right foot. So you're going to hold on to the strap. You can wrap your hands around. Hold on to the strap. One hand has one side, one is the other. Don't do it just in the middle. You're going to get more force if you hold one side of the strap in one hand and then one in the other. If you'd like to extend the left leg long, if that works for you, keeping that leg straight. Push the leg away from you and now pull the leg back towards the wall behind you. Pull down, push away, pull back. Pull down, push away, pull back. Create as much tension where your leg attaches to the body as possible. Pulling on your pelvic bone with the hamstring muscles. When we pull on that bone, that gives bone building stimulation. Pull the strap down, push the leg away with the muscles, like you're really trying to push it away, and then you're pulling it back with your hands, resisting the push and the pull action. And your leg is straight and you feel a heaviness in your right buttock. Take one more breath. And then release the tension. You can bend the knee if you need to. We're going to go into the inner thigh stretch. So take your hands in the strap, wrap your hand around the strap. Leg is straight, leg is high. Exhale. And then inhale. Don't let your pelvis rock. So inhale into this with a lot of core stabilizing work till you get to the place that you're going to go to where you feel that inner thigh stretch. Leg up towards the wall behind you. Push into the strap. The left side is stabilized. Don't let the left buttock fly away from the ground. Stretching that right inner thigh, leg up towards the wall behind you. Feel as much stretch in the right leg as you can. Press that left leg into the ground to help stabilize. Keep that left buttock anchored down. Take one more breath. And then bring that leg back up. Let's switch. Bring the left leg up into the strap. Hold on to your strap. Right leg either stays straight or bent. It's up to you. Left leg is straight. Pull down with the strap. Anchor that into the ground. Push the leg away from you with the muscles of the left leg. Push the leg away from you. And then pulling the leg towards the wall behind you. So create a lot of opposing force of pushing and pulling. You're pushing with the muscles and pulling back and pulling down so that you feel heaviness in your left buttock. Not just hanging out, but creating a lot of tension the whole time in the posture. Straight leg, push it away, pull it down, pull it back. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and release. Take your hand down the strap, going out to the side. Right leg is straight or bent, up to you. Keep that leg straight. Lengthen that leg out to the side until you get to the place where you really feel that tension in the inner thigh and you feel the stability in the right side. Pushing through the arch of the strap, leg up towards the wall behind you. Right side is anchored down, left side is high. Feel that pull. You're pulling on your pelvis. Take one more breath. Bringing that leg back up to center. Take the strap off. Draw the knees into your chest. Realigning your spine, your SI joint. And then come onto your side. Using the pushing muscles to push away from the ground. Bringing yourself up. We'll move into the seated twists. Let's do the straight leg twist first. Take your blanket, fold your blanket, double for many of you. Some of you may need it to be even higher. And then bring your block onto the left side. Come to sit on the edge of your blanket, near the front of the blanket. And then reach under and grab the flesh of the buttocks so you expose the bones. You're forward and you'll feel this forward movement. Heels have to stop you, so come forward. You want to make sure you maintain length in your spine. You maintain your SSS zone, safe spinal space, lower heart to belly button. You do not bring these hands any closer together. You can visualize that your hands are here and this space maintains the whole time. So movement could take place above or below, mostly below and in the hip joint. And we're going to keep that safety in our body as we come into the twisting. Take your left leg and bend your left leg. Arms are holding onto your leg to get as tall as you can in your spine. And then hold onto your left leg with your right arm. Make sure you maintain a lot of action in the right arm. It's not just hanging out. You want it to be very active. You're pulling so that you could get long in your spine. Take your hand on the block behind you. Push away from the ground or the block. So depending on your body, use your hands to push away to get tall. What's happening to your SSS zone? Below the heart to the belly. Nice long front spine. Exhale. As you inhale, your lower ribs and your middle ribs and then your upper ribs are where you rotate. When you're here, push away from the ground, lift that right elbow, lower the shoulders, slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Press the shoulder blades forward to lift your heart, and then chin is parallel. Head can look back a little farther. So getting a lot of rotation, using the shoulder blades to slide towards each other and forward to help bring in some thoracic rotation. Push your feet and your leg into the ground to help turn on the lower back area to protect the lumbar spine so we can rotate more in the thoracic. Always work, keep working. Don't come here and hang out. Lower the shoulders, shoulder blades towards each other. Shoulder blades forward, spine lengthened. Take one more breath. Stay long in your spine as you unwind to come out. Block goes to the other side, bending the right leg, left leg is straight. Holding onto the leg to get nice and tall, setting yourself up. Hand on the block behind you. Left elbow is active. Exhale. And as you inhale, lower ribs, middle ribs, and upper ribs rotate to the right. Once you get here, refine it. Push your feet into the floor. Push away from the floor. Get tall. Front spine is nice and long. Lower the shoulders. Slide the shoulder blades towards each other. And then press them forward to lift, lengthen, and rotate your spine. Constantly working. Press down, get tall, rotate. What's happening to the left elbow? Active left elbow. Press down into the ground. Take one more breath. And then slowly with length, unwind your body. Bring the soles of the feet together in a Baddha Konasana. Sit nice and tall. Knees are down to the side. Take a break here. Close your eyes. Check in with where you're at. And then open your eyes. We're going to move into a bent knee twist. For those who have knees that do not bend, you could repeat the straight leg twist. For those of you that have bendable knees, you're going to support one buttock with a blanket and let that knee bend and sit on the heel of that bent leg with the opposite buttock. And then take your leg across your body. So you have your buttocks being supported by a blanket on one side, the knee or the heel on the other side. Where your knee is, you're going to hold on tall. The leg that's forward, the bent knee, that's the direction you rotate in. So bring the block to that side if you use a block on the ground. Push down to get tall. Exhale. And as you inhale, lower ribs, middle, and upper. Try to rotate from your rib cage. You're going to get some tension here now in that hip joint, pulling on the hip as well. So spinal stimulation and hip stimulation. Lower your shoulders, slide your shoulder blades towards each other. Press your shoulder blades forward to lift and lengthen your spine and rotate. Create a lot of tension in your body in this twist. Right elbow is active, or the elbow that's holding onto the knee is active, whatever direction you're in. Heavy pelvis, long spine, rotated spine. Lower shoulders, shoulder blades towards the spine, pressing shoulder blades to lift, lengthen, and rotate. Take one more breath. Allow that tension to leave as you unwind, coming to the other side. Staying with the straight leg if that's what you need for your body. Otherwise, buttock, heel supports the other. And then bring your leg across your body. Block on the floor if you need it, or you can use your hands sitting right out of your pelvis, long spine. Get heavy in your pelvis, long in your spine. Exhale. And then inhale, lower ribs, middle, and upper. Feel that tension coming into the outside of the hip joint in the direction you're rotating towards. Elbow is active, lower the shoulders, shoulder blades towards each other. Press forward, lengthen your spine and rotate. Breathe. Breathe to where you feel the tension. Create as much tension as you can, and then bring the breath there to manage it, to stay, to create these forces. Keep creating that tension. Lower the shoulders, slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Push them forward to lift, to lengthen, to rotate. Take one more breath. And then slowly unwind. Coming to a place of rest, whatever that is for you. You could crisscross your legs. You could have your legs spread. You could come into a kneeling position. Whatever feels appropriate for you to close your eyes, to go into your body, to feel your core, to feel your spine, noticing whatever parts of your body you need to focus on. Breathe down to your pelvis. And blink your eyes open. So we're going to come to standing and do some standing postures. Your blanket, we're not going to need this, so you could move that off to the side. We're not going to need the strap either, so go ahead and take that and clear your space. And then from here, we're going to come to standing. So coming onto your shins, bringing a foot forward, flip the back toes under. Go slow here. Make sure your foot is forward of your knee. Push your front heel into the floor, your hands into your legs. See if you could unload the weight from your joints slowly. And then bring yourself up to standing. Take your block off to the side. If you need a chair, get a chair, or if you need a wall, get a wall. Do whatever feels right for you. And then let's find alignment. Let's find Tadasana, mountain. Big toes are touching. Hands are down alongside your body. Pushing away from the floor. So push your feet into the floor. Push your top thighs back. Contract your glutes and pull your tailbone down towards the ground. And then hands are alongside your body. Push them back. Fingers are open. Press down. Now push down with the hands, down with the feet, and rebound and lengthen your spine. Shoulders are away from the ears. Chest is lifting or floating up towards the sky. Chin is parallel towards the ground, and head is an extension of the spine. From here, take one more breath. And then go ahead, bring a little ease into your body. And then coming back into the mountain, let's go into tree. Push your body to one side, bend the knee, keep your pelvis stable as you move just the leg to the side. Bring the foot up in between the ankle and the knee, and find something to gaze at that doesn't move. A focal point that you could focus on. Hands could be in your waist, they could be out to the side, whatever variation of tree you'd like to do. Take one more breath. Bringing your knee forward, bringing yourself down, back to mountain. Push away from the ground with your hands with your feet, long with your spine. Body weight to the other side. Bend the knee, keep the pelvis stable as you move just the leg in the joint. Bring the foot up in between ankle and knee, finding your point, your focal point of balance. And then arms wherever you'd like. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out, come all the way out, shake. We're going to come into side angle because this gives us an opportunity to rotate the spine. I like to use the block for this. So take the block towards the side you're going to move to. Coming from your mountain posture, you take a wide stance. Toes move away from you, heel moves away. Take your back hand on the leg, exhale. Push away from the back foot, let the back hand draw down the leg as you bring the front arm up. And then both arms up. Reach long, bring your hand on top of your thigh, other hand in the air. For those that can go down a little more, you could take your hand on the block, deepen that bend. Use that arm that's on the leg or on the inside of the knee and rotate your trunk forward. So bring in some rotational force to the spine here. Loading into the hip joint, the knee joint. Push your feet into the floor. Push away from the floor, lengthen your spine, and rotate. Take one more breath. You bring yourself up to your warrior two, and then out. Bring the block to the other side. Toes are forward, toes away, heel away. Shoulders are forward, up, back, and they're down. Hand on the back leg. Exhale. As you inhale, pushing away from the back foot, load into that front leg. Walking that front foot forward if you need to, if you go down pretty far. And then both hands up. Inhale to lengthen. Hand can stay on the thigh or go onto the block. Bend a little deeper in the joints if you can. Push away from the block, lengthen your spine, and then rotate. So you want to try to be as long as you could be from fingertip to fingertip. You're not resting on your leg or the block. You're pushing away. You're bringing length into your spine. You're pushing against your leg to rotate your trunk forward. Push away from the ground. Feel like you're ripping the floor apart with your feet. Draw that energy up into the spine and then rotate. Take one more breath. Bring yourself back up. Bring yourself all the way out. to a Tadasana mountain. And then relax. So I'd like to do chair pose, and I'd like to add a twist to chair. So the important thing when we do the chair posture is hip flexion, not spinal. And we're going to do it with a twist. We're going to twist to the side and hold this. So we're going to be doing 2 times chair. So you're going to twist to the side either with an arm or with the hands in front of the chest. So you either come into this with prayer position hands and you turn your heart in one direction, or you bring your arm onto your leg, stay nice and long in your spine, and you do it with arms. So you decide what's appropriate for you. Bring a block between your legs, walk your feet so that your toes are block distance, your legs are block distance, you're not wider. You want to make sure that you're nice alignment here. Then squeeze the block, bending at the hip joint, push the pelvis back, bend your hips and come down into your chair. Take your hands together at your heart. Push your hands to your heart to your hands. Turning the heart with the hands where they are in one direction. If you can bring the hand to the outside knee and the other arm in the sky. Keeping your spine long, rotating your trunk in chair. Squeeze that block. Long spine. Take one more breath. Bringing your hands back to center. Bring yourself up, take a break. A lot of thigh work, glute work. This will be definitely a challenge. Feel the acceleration of the heart rate. Last physical posture that we're doing. Take one more breath. And let's enter the next one. You come back, bending at your hips. Hips go back. Hands are together at the heart. And then rotate in the other direction. Stay here if you'd like, or bring your hand to the outside knee, other arm in the air. Push and get long in your spine and rotate. Take one more breath. Bring yourself back to center. Bring yourself all the way up. Block out to the side. Coming into your mountain, catch your breath, breathe down to your feet. Shake your legs. Let your legs be wide. Move your body, sway your hips back and forth, and then your arms as well. Realigning your spine, taking out tension. Then your hips go side to side, your arms come forward and back. And then let yourself go. Get your blanket and anything else you need for the last posture of the practice, which is Shavasana. Bringing yourself down onto the ground. Final rest posture. If you need to do anything else before that, knees could come to the chest, or you could let your limbs settle in your body. Finding yourself into the fully stretched Shavasana posture, posture of integration. Let today's practice seep into your body, your mind. Mouth closed, breathing in and out through your nose. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Start to move your fingers, your toes, your ankles, your wrists, bending your knees. Turn your knees into your chest, rocking side to side. How does your back feel? How does your core feel? Paying attention to today's practice in your body. Come onto the side and then push yourself up to a seated position. Bringing the hands together, hands to the heart. Closing the practice with sound. Let's do the sound Om. This is a blending of the sounds Ah, Oo, It's the back of the throat in the beginning. As you begin to close your mouth, the sound that's made in the middle of the mouth is the O or the Oo. And as the lips touch, the sound is created. It's your human sound on an exhale. We call it the sound Om. So it's Om. Gentle in the throat, from the heart to the throat. Pay attention to the sound your body makes. Exhale. Big breath, inhale. Hand to forehead, bowing forward in gratitude for the opportunity, for the wisdom, for this moment to practice strengthening our body, our bones. We say thank you or namaste. As always, notice what your limitations are, how far you should go, what you should do. Today was a strong practice, 13 postures. Everything was held for longer than 30 seconds. Some were over a minute. The plank was 1:20 today, which is a substantial amount of time to be in plank. The Navasana boat posture was also a pretty long hold. So pay attention, do what's appropriate for you, demand more every day from your body and your bones, and they will stay strong for you. All right, so whoever's still here, how are you doing? Boy, do I feel that, but I feel stronger. I could tell that I'm getting stronger. So hopefully that's the case for you as well. Jane. Yeah, Jane, you know what? That's not true. And that's what they say with, I hope you're still here. The Mayo Clinic came out with, there was a study, a very random study that actually wasn't even done properly about rotation. So what the thing is, Jane, yes, if you are flexing your spine and putting pressure on the front of your vertebra and then you're rotating on it, not safe at all. But the best way to strengthen your spine is to be lengthened and to rotate your spine. That is where we get the most vertebral strengthening. So rotation can be done safely. And that's what the answer is to rotation and osteoporosis. Good, Nicole. Strong and grateful. I love it. With all capitals, STRONG. Yes, you are. Stevie, you're welcome. Thank you, Nicole, for saying that. It's my passion. It is, Nicole. I want to help women be strong in their body, their bones, really, truly, because I know how important it is. So yeah, thank you. Ashi's way, yes, you're stronger. You definitely are stronger. So I don't know if Jane was still here. But anyway, really nice to meet you, Jane. I don't know if I've met you before. So thank you for joining me. If you want to do more with me, I go on wellness journeys. I know that some of you know that, but people watch this recorded. Scotland and Bali every year, wellness journeys. And I have group programs for healthy gut, healthy bones. You could do that with labs or without, or you could work with me privately and run labs to look for biochemical aspects of bone loss, like what's happening metabolically. Why are you losing bone to a disease state called osteoporosis? DebbieRobinson.com is where you'll find out more information. And I look forward to seeing you in a class, in a workshop, in a master class, on your wellness journey, whatever that is. Until then, every single day, demand more from your body and bones, every single day, forever. All right. Have a great day, everyone.